Gamers are proclaiming the truth and they're judging a book by its cover. And that's what we're seeing with ARC Raiders right now, because it seems like gamers are reaching their breaking point where being simply a good game is not enough. You're going to have to be absent of all the elements that a lot of gamers do not want to see in gaming in order to get their attention. And that's what we're seeing happening with ARC Raiders, which is a new game that a lot of people are enjoying, but a lot of gamers are suspicious of just based on the trailer and looks and appeals of the characters that are being presented to them. And that is the situation we're now in the gaming industry, where gamers are just going to be suspicious right after looking at your character models, their race, their gender, and their overall affinity to other cultures. And I think this is the thing that we keep seeing now in the current gaming industry that we haven't seen beforehand, because a lot of people didn't care about culture, race, or all these other elements when they were playing games 10, 15 years ago. But this is now a thing that is highlighted whenever gamers see a trailer for a game, and it's mostly because of the activist influence that has taken over gaming that only see race, politics, gender as the focus of anything that they put out. And that's what I think ARC Raiders is suffering from right now, because in all intents and purposes, it is a good game. People have nothing but compliments about the game. Me, myself, playing it, I enjoyed it. But if you look on Twitter, there's a lot of suspicion and hesitancy because we see all the telltale signs of a game that is moving towards the progressive politics that have been dominating the gaming industry these past 10 years. And I think that is the thing that's influencing the situation that we're seeing, at least with the hesitancy of gamers actually picking up maybe an essential good game for this year. But first off, let's recap what ARC Raiders is. It was a game that was announced in 2021. It was a free-to-play game with a $40 premium model. It's launching October 30th, 2025 across PC, PlayStation, and of course, Xbox. A lot of people see this game as a sci-fi extraction squad-based gameplay that we love from those extraction shooters. It's a focus on scavenging in a ruined world. So this has all the elements that we see from an overall advanced version of PUBG. And I think this is the thing people are excited about with the game. And this is the thing that is driving the actual discussion that, hey, this looks like it's going to be intense, fun action. But of course, when people started seeing trailers for the game, we saw a black activist sort of character model that a lot of gamers are saying on Reddit and online. The woke discussions began, where people were saying, okay, they're highlighting a black, strong female character that looks like she's part of Black Lives Matter. And that's the conversation people brought up. People just started ridiculing the game itself, not even giving the game a necessary shot or chance. But I have to say, the people complaining about it have an actual necessary understanding of what's been happening in the gaming industry these past few years. Because whenever we saw a black female character like this, it's always associated with a terrible game. And you just look back at the games that came out these past 2 to 3 years, you see dozens of characters that are associated with all-time loser titles that actually tank multiple studios. And that is the thing that gamers are realizing when they see a strong African-American lead. They know the game is probably going to be trash. And I think that is the thing that people are taking into account when they see ARC Raiders in its original trailer. They're like, okay, we have the strong black female with kind of a curly hair, and she looks like she has no emotions. We're going to assume the game is terrible. And that is the thing that is kind of iconically, symbiotically associated with any progressive woke game. And I think that is the thing that ARC Raiders is suffering right now, where gamers see this female lead character, then she's not even really a lead character. She's just a character model that they chose for the trailer. They're associating it with all the bad games they saw these past 10 years that had a similar female character. It's not only games, it's entertainment in general. We see this with animation. We see this with, of course, Hollywood. All these entertainment properties have the same standard practice of putting this strong black female lead at the forefront for terrible properties in video games or things that are just there to destroy source material. And I think that is the thing that is now being associated with ARC Raiders, where gamers are going, oh, it has a strong black female lead. We know it's trash. I don't even want to give this a chance, even though game that's pretty good and you should probably give it a chance. And this is the problem that we're seeing in the current video gaming market right now, where gaming is suffering from this trend of upholding this ideal standard of pushing progressive politics in every single facet of the gaming industry. And I think that's the thing ARC Raiders is suffering from, where gamers are just having a bias towards the game, even though it doesn't actually accurately characterize the game. But when you look into some of the details with ARC Raiders, it doesn't give a convincing story that that is not the case, especially with the character model creator, where people saw the upcoming release being slated. People were looking at some of the preview models, and they look at the default customer character creation, and we just have the same thing we've been seeing all over the gaming industry. You've been seeing type A, type B, no male, female options. We see more non-binary default character faces. And I think this is the thing that gamers expected to see when they saw the trailer, and we're actually getting it. And it kind of makes you think, were the gamers wrong? But it kind of seems like they're kind of right. We're getting the similar things that we saw in other video gaming properties that have slanted in this way, where we see non-binary characters. We have a focus on gay, black, diverse DEI elements rather than the actual gaming property itself. And I think that's the thing that we're seeing reflected in Arc Raiders, and the hesitancy that gamers had initially with the trailer is being borne out because we keep seeing similar elements at the forefront of the character model creation. And I think that is the thing gamers are going to judge now, your character model creation. If it's hyper focused on these LGBTQ themes, these non-binary characters, there's no female option, people are going to say, we know you're this type of game. We know what type of politics you're going to push. You may not be heavy in it now, but if you're successful, we can't really trust you. We know where you're going to go. We know where you're going to slant, and we know what you're going to do with the resources we gave you with playing this game. And I think this is the thing that we're seeing gamers do nowadays. They're giving no opportunity even to good quality games that are pushing the messaging. And that is kind of the situation gaming has put itself in, where even quality games may suffer now because gamers are just not giving anything a chance. And I think that we keep seeing throughout the industry today, where the industry is put itself in a corner where gamers are never going to be the same way they used to be. And I think that's the thing that we see with Arc Raiders right now. Instead of traditional male-female options, the game uses body type A, body type B, bulkier, slimmer frames without explicit gender details. This mirrors trends we saw in Cyberpunk 2077, The Sims, where customization avoids binary genders to allow more fluid expressions. Critics argue it's woke. It pushes for inclusivity, potentially alienating players who prefer straightforward options. And I think this is one of the elements a lot of players have a problem with, the customization. The customization is so leaning towards this non-binary appeal that has been taking over the gaming industry these past few years, where we just have character customizations with highly unappealing character designs. We see this for the past few years when it comes to the gaming industry, where it's just we don't get the quality designs, at least from the Western gaming world, where they can't even make a character design that looks appealing anymore because they're afraid it will offend a group of people online that will see this as unrealistic. And I think that's the essential thing that we keep seeing now that is changing the gaming industry. And I think that is the thing people are having kind of hesitations with Arc Raiders, and it's leading to suspicions that this game may not live up to the high standard that it put itself up to. Of course, we're seeing a lot of people enjoy the game. At least the gameplay looks good. It is functional, and some technical issues were there. Some players playing had high ping rates, packet loss, latency issues, but some of these things were fixed in their beta stage, so there's not too much of that still there. And I think the elements people are most afraid of is the things that they're showing, where it's showing this non-committal to actually putting straightforward gender options. Customization is ugly. The characters look terrible. They're mostly focused on diversity elements, and that is just indicating people, hey, in the future we're gonna have more of these elements into the gaming industry, and that gamers were right to judge a book by its cover. And I think that's what we're seeing right now. Gamers are judging a book by its cover, and they're coming out right to a certain extent. It's hurting good games, and I think Arc Raiders is probably one of those good games that's going to be hurt by this, because gamers are now more prejudiced than ever, when in the past they had no prejudice. They just expected something fun, and I think that is a dichotomy that we're seeing in the current gaming market. That is just my 2 cents on the situation. Maybe you disagree with me. Maybe you think gamers are not prejudging things anymore. I think they are. Even I'm judging it. I just look at this game and I'm thinking the 10 other games had a similar black female character that looked terrible, that I didn't like playing, so I associate Arc Raiders with those games, even though it's not. I played it. It's a good game, so it's kind of sad that this is the state of affairs in gaming. You have to blame the consultancy firms, the activists that have put messaging that really doesn't resonate with gamers, and now gamers are rejecting anything that looks familiar to them that has that messaging. But this is the sad state of affairs in the current gaming world, and I'm hoping it changes. But you tell me what you think about the situation. I'd like to hear your thoughts Like, comment, share, subscribe. This is Wagner Knows Why. Catch you next time.